Welcome in the latest episode of the Need for Seeds College Basketball Podcast, presented to you by the Ben and Pitch Podcast Network. I'm your host, Real_G Warner, a little bit under the weather, joined by at Big East Ben. Speaking of weather, Dallas is about to get the snow. Mageddon was a couple years ago. Now it's going to be snowpocalypse. So if you're out there, hopefully you're all safe. And let's see if I actually get a little bit healthy this weekend. Big East Ben, how are you doing on this beautiful Friday, January 23rd?
10 degrees in Colorado. Not as much snow as you guys are getting. Go figure.
Ha! Yeah, we have no snow, but this whole place is shut down already. Dallas Stars tickets were going like $50 right on the glass, basically. Everyone trying to unload everything. Probably should have gone, but you can hear my voice. We're going to go through four of the biggest games of the college basketball slate. We're going to go
You ever
through.
consider drinking and going out less?
No. And we're going to go through four of the biggest games on the list. We'll also get some best bets coming end of show. And of course, Big East Ben's top five coaches dead list. You want to start there?
Yeah. So basically, halfway through conference play, I think it would be good to review some very dead coaches who are still alive. I've made my top five. Griffin has made his top five.
Yes.
We will start and see how much we overlap here. I'll start with my number five. So this one was close. Battle of two Big East coaches. I'm going to give Kim English the edge over Ed Cooley,
Ah,
just because I think Providence would want to kind of like jump the gun and maybe poach. Well, I don't know if they would do two George Mason products in a row, but maybe poach Tony Skinn
Tony.
ahead of Georgetown. I mean, Georgetown's gone completely off the rails. Ed Cooley is now in press conferences going, there's a lot of bad things going on in the world. Like, we're fortunate to be 9-9 on the season. Like, check out what's going in Hamas and Ukraine.
Mm.
But Kim English is like, that Providence team has so much talent. They're 0-4 in overtime. Those like how Marquette won that game this week was just an absolute miracle. So I think Kim English is headed for a grave after 3 years.
I think it's amazing that Kim English got 3 years. He's honestly been like the best assistant coach that's never done anything, won anything, and somehow found his way to my hometown squad, the Providence College Friars. Watching their game at home against Villanova, which Jason Edwards was miraculously out right before tip-off after playing the most minutes of his season, which was especially fun as a Providence backer that night. Absolutely no defense, which is where Kim English learned his chops under Rick Barnes. Yeah, Providence has struggled, and unfortunately with Ed Cooley, I mean, he left for greener pastures at Georgetown. Doesn't look like he'll come back. And since we're gonna do my list last, let's go with Biggie Spence number four on the list.
Number four is Red Autry. He
Ooh,
is a Syracuse Orange, sitting now at 12-7. He actually went 20-12 in his first year back in 2024. I don't think they made the tournament though. Just 11-9 in ACC play, and that was an awful, awful year for the ACC. I remember. This year, 12-7, 3-3 in conference play. They lost at Boston College, which is just embarrassing. Probably the worst home court advantage in sports at County Forum. The team's shooting 64% from the foul line. You gave him this 1 year, I think, to get Kyan Anthony. I don't think he's been as advertised, averaging just 24% from three. Doesn't seem like the brightest guy. End of games, he's just sitting on his hands. I think Syracuse has been fed up with this and will finally move on to someone, maybe Jerry McNamara from Siena. What do you think about that?
interesting. I mean, they like to stay in the family. I remember they complained about not winning at Syracuse because they didn't have an athletic director. We've also heard similar things at North Carolina with Hubert Davis, aka every time they hire the worst assistants possible to be the head coaches. And the problem is for some people close to us, there was a national championship that was in hand for UNC, and that went the wrong way. But no NCAA tournament 2024. Actually, a first round ACC tournament loss to NC State for Syracuse, and unfortunately, yeah, a loss on the road to BC followed by a really strong effort in a home loss to Virginia Tech. Not exactly the best way to stay in the good graces of A. Brooks Betts and the posse around mid all central western, however you describe that, New York. Number three at Big East Ben's list.
Number three, we're going to go to the Big 12. Cincinnati, Wes Miller. He has now been there for 5 years for Wes Miller. He's losing his mind. He's going off on radio shows, basically, be basically like self-defense, self-preservation, saying, it's us against the world. We'll figure it out. It's kind of sad what's happened in the Cincinnati program. I forget who the coach was that said like, oh yeah, like that used to be an institution. It's kind of unfortunate, but like unlike a lot of coaches who I feel like have, or the other coaches on this list who have like totally torpedoed their fan bases, um, Cincinnati still draws pretty good crowds, and he has just been unable to capitalize. Looks like a little boy. He kind of just has like a little boy face, which I never respect as a coach. Andy Enfield's kind of the same way. Josh Pastner, big time little boy face. I think Wes Miller's days are numbered at Cincinnati.
Yeah, maybe follows Josh Pastner all the way over to Peacock or ESPN or
And
Fox or everywhere.
well, he's at UNLV now. They just had a big win at Utah State, 15
Right,
point
but
dogs.
right, but the transition to TV seems to be something that might be down Wes Miller's. Also, was supposed to take over the UNC job when Hubert failed, but they don't know who to pick from that Carolina family. Number two on Biggie Spence, coaches that are dead list on January 23rd of 2026.
Number two, Bobby Hurley, Arizona
Ooh, quotes are
State.
bad. Quotes are bad this week.
I think like he just doesn't have it. Like he had the good run at Buffalo. Nate Oates had a better run at Buffalo. People forget that. Um, he's talking about how they don't draw fans. The fans aren't coming out to support. That he's failing. He's just admitting that he's failing. He can't get through to his team. This used to be like a pretty good, like solid home court advantage. They had that curtain of doom with the foul shooting, or
Yeah.
curtain of death, or whatever it was called. But man, he's just thrown in the towel. And to be honest, man, you have to think like, did he just rest on his laurels in terms of having a pro career and having the established career at Duke, while Danny was the one, grinding on film, grinding on play, running those beautiful sets? It's weird that he hasn't inherited any shred of talent from his brother.
You think at like in the off season they have dinners as a family? I mean, we know his dad. I mean, who knows what capacity he has at this point? But do you think they talk about it, or do you think it's like they talk about the New England Patriots or something like that, or New Jersey's favorite
I think like
football team?
Um no, Danny and Bob, I think they just like talk about him like he's like the alcoholic, degenerate black sheep of the family.
I mean, it looks like it with his Diet Coke addiction. Probably wishes they were Michelob Ultras or something like that on the sideline. Not a sponsor of the Benny the Pitch and Need for Seeds College Basketball Podcast, but we'll accept it. I want Remy to be himself, and I trust him. He's been in big games and already delivers. That was about Remy Martin back in the day. But recently, from DevilsDigest.com, we failed. I'm failing. I can't get through the team. Not exactly great comments after a West Virginia loss, and I feel like I've been in the room when you get a call from HR and your boss. They usually start with comments like that. He's basically just setting himself up for that phone call. Maybe he makes the rest of the season. We'll see. His contract does end of year. And number one on the list of Biggie Spence already dead coaches.
Number one, so this guy's gone under the radar a bit because he's done such a crappy job
It
in
is the
basically
curtain of distraction, by the way.
hurt and
By the way.
distraction,
Yes. Yeah.
and just absolutely destroyed a perennial institution I was fond of back to the 16 team Big East days. I think you know who I'm talking about. The
I do.
bag man,
The bag man.
Jeff Capel. Jeff Capel has had been there now one, two, three. This is his eighth season, Griffin. They are 8-11, 1-5 in the ACC. Assuming they don't finish over 500 this season, that will make 3 out of the 8 seasons of when he finished with a winning record. I believe his only tournament win was that weird game against Iowa State in 2023 where the
Which we were
rims
in Denver for.
where the rims were the wrong size, the wrong height. I think that was that game. I
Okay.
believe so. It was
I mean,
the
it would
50.
make sense based on the way the opponent shot. That's for sure. That was one of my few winners. And I was really taking advantage of the bet $1,000. If you lose your first bet, you get it fully back in cash run that the every sports book
Oh,
in
you went
Colorado
crazy
did.
with those, and then you talked me into obviously the Gonzaga one, which we don't have to talk about.
The
But
wedding fund.
Jeff Kate, like the Bennett Howland, Jamie Dixon days, there's like so many Pittsburgh players I can remember, like DeJuan Blair, Levance Fields, Aaron Gray, the small forward who had this really good
Chevy Troutman.
Troutman. Who was the guy who had like the really good like shot fake where he'd like
Carl
basically
something. Carl Pittsburgh basketball. Carl Krauser.
no. Brandon Knight, another one. Siobhan Trout, Kyle Krauser. Who was the
Ooh, speaking of, Brandon Knight could be a potential jump off that sinking ship at Rutgers if he's still even there. Well,
he's an assistant?
he was under Pickle for a while. Pikel. Let's see, where's he at? Where's
Also,
he at? Where's he at?
I didn't know Jocks Vaughn was the Kansas assistant. I'm like, who's this homeless guy coaching Kansas against Colorado? And it's Jocks Vaughn.
Brevin Knight actually has left. Probably why Rutgers not doing as well. Brevin Knight is now working in television color commentating for the Memphis Grizzlies. So, Greg Giannis is saying what's up to him every game.
Yeah, shout out Greg Giannis. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I can't name one player from the Jeff Capel era besides like Jalen Lowe and those Garcia guys from
Mm. The Spaniards from
from
the Canary Islands, yeah, that have
yeah,
that have left. The Graham brothers,
Bill.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So Jeff Capel. I mean, qu- one caveat with Jeff Capel. I mean, uh, Kevin Stallings did like torpedo the program ahead of him, which is kind of unfortunate. But Pittsburgh, I mean, the Oakland Zoo, that was like such a tough place to play, and it's sad what's happened.
They changed the colors. They went a lot bluer than they were in those kind of body bag or bag men days, as you said. I still remember betting them to win the NCAA tournament and in great position, and unfortunately choke an end of game. I want to say against Butler, who's an 8 seed way back when Shelvin Mack just ran
When
it.
they fouled the center, Matt Howard,
Matt Howard,
on the full
R.I.P.
on
By
the
the
other
way,
end of the court when he got the rebound.
rest in peace, Matt Howard. Died of
No, that
leukemia.
was the other guy. That was the
Oh,
other. That was
oh,
Butler
all
center.
right, there we go. Matt Howard, still alive, actually. So for my picks for the top five dead college basketball coaches in the middle of the season, I didn't put them in any order, but Ed Cooley's on the list, Steve Pikiell's on the list, Danny Sprinkle might be on the list.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know how Ohio State, whatever Diebler is there anymore. And number one on my list, I don't need an order for the rest of them. Sean Miller, Jesus Christ, that guy
You want
sucks.
to pull the plug on Sean Miller already?
Dude, I mean, we never will because Texas is literally cares about football, nothing else, then baseball, nothing else, and then basketball. But like, it's a joke. And seeing that we were a 9 point favorite to Mississippi State, literally one of those lines that I was so far off of when I made it that I was like, I don't even know how to explain this. And Mississippi State even covered through regulation, won in overtime, and I made $0 off of it. So not
Mississippi State is god awful, dude. Like,
they won
we were on
in
them with
Austin.
Kentucky. We were
Oh
on
my
them with
God.
Kentucky, but they just got their doors blown off by Texas A&M.
Mm, yep.
And I forget what player this Texas A&M kid is, and it may have been like AG, but he's in the post game presser, and he's like, "Yeah, like Josh Hubbard came up to me. He's like, damn, are you guys really gonna press the whole game?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." And I'm like, "Does Josh Hubbard just fall asleep in the film room, or is Chris Jans just totally mailed it in at the like?" Everyone knows Buckyball. How do you not know that?
Yeah, Chris Jans thought he should get a look for the UT job, at least an interview. Don't know if that actually happened, but yeah, Rylan Griffin, I think it was. Great name, not spelled the correct way. He was talking with Josh Hubbard after the game, it sounds like, and said it would not let up on the relentless full court press. I guess Josh Hubbard, who's to give him some credit, he's been playing pretty good basketball for Mississippi State for a few years. Maybe he's just shooting the whole time. That's all he thinks about. So now it's time for our best bets, or we'll get there after we finish after really skipping far ahead in the show. We're going to go through four of the biggest games on the card. We have some early starts. I think the weather is pushing some things forward as well, as I feel like I'm halfway through the lines and I've literally made it to like 1 p.m. Eastern time. But we'll start with Villanova at UConn. Right now, the total is 136, spread is 10.5. I backed Nova at home against St. John's last weekend. Did not go great for me. It was close for a while, and then St. John's really put pedal to the metal. How do we feel about Villanova keeping this game close?
I don't know how Villanova is doing what they're doing. Like I still think Villanova is like one of the biggest surprises of the college basketball season. They've gone from 50th in the preseason Ken Palm to now 26th. Absolutely demolished Georgetown, running away with it in the second half on Wednesday. I think was that when Ed Cooley gave the quote? It probably was. Yeah, that's when Ed
Probably
Cooley
so.
gave the quote. Um, UConn though, UConn's kind of been playing with their food, dude. Like 64-62 on the road at Georgetown, 69-64 to DePaul. They should have lost that game at Providence.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, home is a different story. This is not at Gamble. This is at Hartford, Connecticut, the People's Bank Arena, formerly the XL Center. Most disorganized cash boxes at their concession stands in Division One.
And
I
that's
think,
saying something.
yeah. Uh, I want to back Villanova, but these are two sub 300 tempo teams. UConn just is so good on the perimeter defensively. And then on the other end of the stick, like I think Duke Brennan can contain Terrace Reed, which is really UConn's only consistent, offensive option. I don't know what has happened to Alex Caravan since 3 years ago. The Braylon Mullins is awesome. He scares me. But Demery's hit or miss. So I'm gonna go under 136.
Yeah, I'll join you on under. I don't really believe that this is going to be a close game. Um, Pretty much every time I watch Villanova's front court, I wonder, like, are those actual college basketball players? I know you said you thought Duke Brennan. I'm surprised to hear positive notes from him. I mean, he's shot really well so far this year, but I just look at that front line with him and Matt Hodge, and I'm like, are those really two bigs playing together? But
He's ninth in the country in offensive rebounding percentage, 53rd in defensive.
I guess someone's got to get a rebound on the team.
Yeah.
We'll move next to Houston visiting Texas Tech. This is where some weather could be in play. Though United Supermarkets Arena, they're probably outside in the tents, or maybe they might even be indoors right now, just getting ready. LIT lit and getting ready for their Raider Rash. Right now, Houston 1 point favorites on the road at Tech. Totals 141. Teams played a close game earlier this season. Does Tech get some revenge?
I think they do. Texas Tech has been playing awesome basketball. Beat BYU at home. That was a 13-point win, but they were like down basically the
Big
whole
run late.
game
Big run
until the
late.
7 minute mark, I think. I was on Tech. I think we both were on
We
Tech
were.
there.
We were.
Absolutely annihilated Baylor in the James Andre experiment, which has gone completely downhill.
You think that was worth it, Scott?
Hopefully we get the same thing with have you heard about the Betty Acco stuff with Alabama?
No, keep going.
Uh the kid who at the center from the 2000 Brandon Miller team
Mm.
is returning
Ah,
to Alabama after 2 years in the G League.
great job, NCAA. Awesome.
But well, get this, he's being allowed to play because a judge in Alabama filed a temporary injunction allowing him to play. Guess where that judge is a six-figure donor to?
I would guess in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
You'd be right. You'd be right. So, and shout out Nate Oates for after James Angie went to Baylor. He said, "Yeah, it just disheartens me what something like that would do for all the American high school kids."
Dude, his best player literally dropped off a gun to kill some woman. Like, get out of here. Like, this sport, I mean, I don't know if we're like mafia levels. We're already killing off coaches halfway through the year. But I swear, there's a lot of made men out here, and John Rothstein certainly talks about these two Utes all the time, and it couldn't really align any better.
I like Tech. Remind me, Griffin, was the JT Toppin ejection last year? Was that at United Supermarkets Arena?
That was at Houston.
That was at Houston, and they won that game. Holy shit! That's probably the most impressive win of last season. Ejected 4 minutes into the game.
It might even been sooner, honestly. Both him and I thought it was before the first TV timeout. Him and McCaslin both got the heave ho and then played a really, really good game. I watched that last year. I remember Tech were pretty big dogs, but it's one of those, missed opportunities, of course. But yeah, I mean, Tech, say what you want, they haven't really had the best year so far, but honestly, they challenged themselves in in the preseason, so you're not going to play your best basketball in November, you know.
Yeah, I mean that Duke win turned everything around for him.
Yeah, I mean, I still can't even believe they won that game. I remember being like, well, it was good effort. They had a 9-0 lead to start the game, didn't even cover the first half. I think it's 6 point dogs, and then came back and won straight up with incredible. I mean, Tech has some late surges in them to say the least, and it's been pretty impressive. I don't know necessarily where. Let's see. I'm trying to look back from so it was at Houston. I want to say that was the game that let's see. Yeah, wait, JT Toppin played 4 minutes, so you're right. Good call. I'm going to join you on Texas Tech. I think they're going to win this game at home. I love Houston. Don't want to fade them at all because they terrify me. But at this point, that's a really tough place to play. And
Freshman point guard, like, and then Uzan has not been playing up to the same standard he was last year. His 3-point percentage is sub 30, down from 40 last year. It's just like I still think Houston's good and they'll be make a deep run in the tournament. I just think they're really missing like LJ Cryer at this point.
yeah, LJ
Just a
Crier's awesome basketball player.
flamethrower.
Well, and honestly, I think the teams, and I've said it all season, it hasn't really worked out very well against the spread, but they're a different team now without the two just I don't even know what to call them. Like, it doesn't sound really nice to call them thugs because I think that's not fair. But like that front court of Houston just beat the shit out of people every game, and I'm saying that like almost lovingly. But we saw them in the Final Four last year. They should have won a national championship. Choked that one up. Very disappointing. But they're on pace for another one this year potentially. Move next to Illinois visiting Purdue. Right now, Purdue 5.5 point favorites. Totals 151.5. How afraid of you? How afraid of Mackey are you?
Well, Mackey's had its bumps this year. I mean, the Iowa State one, no one saw coming. Um, I like this spot for Purdue coming off probably their most. I mean, I guess the Iowa State was the worst loss of the season, but I mean the UCLA at UCLA, already being out there after the USC game, was just very perplexing. I think UCLA is terrible. I was dead wrong on them with their top three Big Ten preseason ranking.
Happens. It
They
happens. You
just
can sign new players in the middle of the year. Maybe Mick will reach into his bag, though he has no money. He's complained about that for years.
Yeah, I mean, people are saying that like Braden Smith is hurt. Only 12 points, 3 of 8 shoot, only 4 assists in that game versus UCLA. Only 5 assists against the in the game prior to that in USC, where they only won by 5. So Purdue's and TKR has kind of like disappeared too, man. So I don't know if I can figure this Purdue team out, so to speak. I don't think they're going to win the Big Ten, which I thought was a sure thing in the beginning of the year. And Illinois has been absolutely rolling. They've won their last 8 games, albeit at not great competition. Best win was at Iowa, where they won by 6. Coming off a giant win against Maryland, 3-point dependent team on the road against what I think is a very talented team, coming off a very bad loss and a good spot, though. I'm going to back the Boilermakers.
I just think the spread's too high, so I'll take Illinois in this one. I know, shocker, stop the presses. I went with the road team, but to me, and I've said it many times, there's a reason why Foster Loyer and Braden Smith haven't left Purdue, because they are forever college basketball players, and maybe Smith's hurt.
You know why it's high?
Why?
And this might change your thinking.
Mm, it won't, but go ahead.
No Boswell.
Yeah, I know Kylan Boswell is supposedly the perfect team guy and matters, but honestly, I'd rather have more of the Soviet Union out there than Kylan Boswell at this
You
point.
son of a bitch.
Because
Traitor.
yeah, Nozdrovia. We'll move to the next game on our list, and we'll go to the last one we'll cover. It's Auburn visiting Florida. Right now, Florida 11.5 point favorites, totals 163.5.
Todd Golden this week actually made me smile.
Yeah, you've decided to end your crusade to get him burned at the
I
stake.
did. I laid down my sword against Todd Golden. I did my best. But he
There's a
was
lot of
asked
traction,
on.
a lot of traction on the Riverwalk last year. Todd Golden is a sex fiend.
We should have
And
brought a
then,
sign.
yeah, or we could have just borrowed one of those like religious people that gives the microphone and the repent now or you'll homosexuals People who have sex before marriage, people who smoke marijuana, people who cheat on their taxes. I'm like, where do you get these? Like, they're not even close to the same thing. You're going to
There was this
hell.
guy who there was this guy who would do that in Massachusetts, and I swear he's probably like a guy, like it's weird. I would always see him at these giant events. I would see him at Red Sox games. I would see him at the Garden. I would see him during Halloween in Salem, Massachusetts. Like he was like this legendary pamphlet guy that was everywhere, and I would somehow always be able to pull him out of big crowds for years. But that's just a little fun
I
fact.
mean,
Wonder
I
what he's
run
up
by
to.
him all the time, right across the American Airlines Center when everyone gets off the train. Yes, I do run. Surprise, surprise, despite my figure. And one time I told him to shut the F up, and he went, "Oh yeah, thank you for that." And I'm gonna speak even louder. And I was like, "Damn, next time I should say something different." But I haven't said anything since.
God bless. God bless.
God bless you too, sir.
What game? Oh, so yeah, Todd Colton made me laugh.
Toggle made you
When
smile.
yeah, when he was being interviewed about the Bediako stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, like I don't get what's going on here, but we'll beat him anyway."
Yeah, especially last year after his stalking allegations came out, just literally putting his daughters and wife on camera with whatever SEC uh, tournament sideline reporter just the whole time and having as many interviews as possible just to show that he was actually into appropriately aged women.
Yeah, was that a thing during the tournament?
Oh my God, he was all over the place. I was like, oh, he is married. I was like, oh, here comes a PR campaign. I didn't know if she was like hired or something like that, but it looked like the little girls. I mean, I guess there were his daughters, and I don't think they'd lie and cover that up completely unless Big East Ben is really wearing the tinfoil hat today. He might
Big
be. He
family,
might be. He
big
might be.
family. Bartolo Colon second. Um, dude, Florida's been cooking, man. Florida has been absolutely cooking.
But Nepo
Blew out
Baby's coming to town.
Nepo baby. Yeah, the medical device salesman slow down the pervert?
Ooh, there's a lot of money in those circles.
So Auburn obviously had that, heartbreaker against Texas A&M, bounced back by killing Arkansas at home. I don't think we were surprised by that. Loss on the road at Missouri. I thought Missouri was turning the corner. They've absolutely shat the bed lately, dropping LSU and Georgia back to back. But dude, the Florida front court, and then the Florida win over Vanderbilt, which I think you were on Vandy, right? I was on
Yeah, that was
Florida.
that was a really fun one. Thank
I mean,
you.
they're just
Thank you.
absolutely dominating, man. And I don't think Auburn's front court is going to be able to slow them down. Kashawn Murphy's like kind of an energizer bunny, but the Jovic guy is more of a finesse bitch. Um,
Mm.
I don't see Auburn stopping Florida. I think they have their eyes dead set on the SEC crown. I think this will be a blowout. I'm gonna back the Gators.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in backing Nepo Baby at this point. Don't believe we didn't believe that he deserved the job way back when. Still don't believe that he has any business being there. But it's one of those things where when your dad's the previous coach, you can kind of get away with some things. So I will take Florida, big favorites right now, minus 11 and a half at home to Auburn. It's now time for our best bets. I'm off to an incredible 7-2 start this season. Big East Ben, a few behind, but we're gonna put out a 2-0 very, very soon. I think I'm 2-0 since we came back onto YouTube at the real underscore G Warner. If you want all of our podcasts, make sure you follow Betting the Pitch, Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. 5-star reviews are huge. Make sure you make a comment, ask Ben, or maybe give him some new content for next week's episode. Try to, I don't know, further along the line of The Sopranos College Basketball 2026. And of course, hit him up on Twitter at the real underscore G Warner is me. At Big East Ben is Big East Ben. And of course, the Need for Seeds College Basketball Podcast. Don't steal it because we're getting it back soon. At Big East Ben, where are you going for your best bet on this January 24th episode?
Yeah, so I like to historically take a best bet that has been off the card that we've discussed, but that clearly has not been working out for me lately. I was on Indiana last week, who absolutely They got outscored by two guys on Iowa, Sturts and I think the center from Drake.
Mm,
But
mm.
yeah, so best
Manyawu,
bets.
maybe?
And Manawalu, yeah.
Yeah, how you pronounce it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with something we already discussed on the card. I'm gonna go with Texas Tech at home. I think McCaslin has Sampson's number. I think they're playing great ball lately. One of the best home court advantages in sports. Guns up.
And is our first double best bet on this episode, as I am right there with you. Let's go Texas Tech, 1 point underdogs at home in the United Supermarkets Arena. You don't make Texas Tech an underdog in United Supermarkets Arena. Whoever did that, idiots. Even though
Dead.
Houston's pretty good. We'll add Kevin Sampson to the dead college basketball coaches next week. Just kidding. He's going to be there in spirit, and he'll be safe for as
Speaking
long
about
as
a
we want.
future Nepo baby taking over the program.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when Kelvin Sampson's little guy, whatever his name, Seth or something like that, Samuel Sampson. We'll see when he comes in there. It'll be wild. That does it for this episode of the Need for Speed's College Basketball Podcast, presented to you by the Betting the Pitch Podcast Network. I had to think about that for a second. The Need for Seeds. Make sure you follow us all across the socials. Hit the likes buttons. I'll try to get a reel out earlier this week, at least before the Indiana game started. My bad. Last week, didn't realize it was an earlier tip. And, it's one of those things in Dallas when no one goes out. I might actually be able to do some Instagramming. So thanks for joining. We'll talk
And
to
also,
you.
just keep tabs. Game start earlier tomorrow due to the snowmageddon going on
Snowpocalypse.
everywhere except Colorado.
Snowpocalypse, yes. And I don't know if I've seen a single snowflake, but the roads were clear. I did see a single car accident. The car was not on fire, but someone just basically just smacked a Jersey barrier, it seemed to me. Welcome to Texas, where no one knows how to drive when it rains. Good luck if there's snow, and if we get the ice black, as this girl seeing called it, because she's still learning English.
Ice black.
The ice black. I was like, what are you talking about? But yes, the ice black is coming. It's here. Enjoy your date night, Big East Ben. Thanks for making some time.